time for an almighty update. A late at night one, but an update altogether. So, are you ready? Buckle up. So I know I was gonna go over the episode that I didn't post on YouTube about labels, but you know what? I realized since it's gone forever. And I guess we'll never have to see it again. Well, maybe, in the future I'll redo some about it, but labels. Find your fears, label them, kill them. That's basically the summation of the whole thing. But today, what I want to talk about is beautiful people. I just want to talk about people. People are so amazing. There's a reason why I love each and every single one of you, and it doesn't matter if I've met you, if I haven't met you, if you've been in jail or killed somebody or anything bad. In the grand scheme of things, I still love you. I love you no matter what you do, and that's the thought. That's the feeling that I bring into every single interaction that I have with anybody and everybody in this world. Because it is, again, not my place to judge you for what you have or have not done in your life. The fact that anything and everything that you do, that I do, that all of us do, needs to happen in order for evolution to take place. In order for evolution to take place, we must endure hard times. We must rejoice when there's happy times upon us. We must be aware of all the negativities that are around us. We must be aware of all the happiness, of all the joy, of all the transformations occurring in front of our eyes as well. That's why it doesn't matter what role we've chosen to play. Yeah, it sucks that there's some people that are being killed, some people are being treated unfairly, but for the fact that that's happening, the fact that these negativities exist in life is the same reason why we can rejoice in the happiness when it's not happening. Rejoice in the fact when we're transferring past all of these negative, all of these things that shackle us and hold us in some sort of internal cage of suffering. Like heaven and hell might be used in religious scriptures to describe, going up, going down. A reward or punishment that you receive after, God judges you or something of the sort. But heaven and hell exist right here in the mind, in the present. Depending on how you think on a day-to-day basis, you're experiencing that hell, or that heaven every single day, every single moment of your life. Because it's all here. For the people who have chosen to do bad upon the world, to abuse the weak, to rip them off, rip off the gullible, and take advantage of any and every situation that they possibly can in order to move forward in their own personal game in their world. These are the people that are going to suffer internally until they change, until they figure out that, I'm truly doing myself more bad. I'm doing myself more a disservice than I am a service, because sure, I might be moving forward financially and economically, materialistically, but there will always be a void inside because it will never completely be filled. I mean, look at the super rich of this world that are continuing the corruption and the destruction of this planet, of the resources, of the human lives that are inside of it. They're continuing to do this because it's money. And they have a psychopathy that leads them to believe that more money equals that feeling that they've always wanted. But with the more time, the more money you spend, the less that little rush lasts. That rush when you buy a brand new car and you're like, a brand new car, oh my god, I'm going to drive this everywhere. Oh, it's the best car in the world. It's red, it's purple, it's green, I don't care. It's going 0 to 60 in 2.3967 seconds, it doesn't matter. All of this little rush, it only lasts a fraction of a second until you get used to it. You desensitize yourself to the pleasure because it just comes like this. Obtaining this is not a fulfilling thing because it's a very shallow way of existing. Because it's cool to have new things, it's cool to have a bigger house. These things bring comfort, they bring us, value in some sort of way. But what they don't bring us is fulfillment. They don't bring us lasting happiness. Because we're only serving ourselves, we're only serving a shallow goal in life, is to obtain things, to grow materialistically instead of emotionally and spiritually. That's why when people take that route, when they're trying to just screw people over for the monetary gain to move themselves forward in the materialistic world, they'll always have a black void. right here that they'll never be able to fill with any sort of toy or object or thing. Because the creatures that we are, we require communication, we require service. The more we give, the more we get. So when you do something nice for somebody else, you get that feeling. You no longer live in a world where you try to abuse somebody else and they try to abuse you, and then there's not really a give and take scenario. In your mind, it's always, how do you protect yourself against other people trying to destroy you, and how do you destroy the next person? So it's always a competition, and it's never a win-win. It's always a lose-lose. We try to live life in a symbiotic relationship. Symbiosis, by definition, is I give you something, you benefit, you give me something, I benefit. We both benefit by giving and taking from each other, and we both give and take from each other. We both win. Neither of us suffer in the end. Or it could be a parasite. A parasite just takes from its host, no matter what happens to the host, and eventually it will be its downfall, because the host will die and the parasite cannot feed off the host any longer. And it doesn't matter how much the host or the parasite has been sucking that host dry, eventually that parasite will die because it doesn't know how to control itself, because it wasn't able to give back to the host. If it was given back to the host, and the host was benefiting from this relationship either way, then it's symbiosis. That's why when it clicks inside your mind, you're no longer trying to use somebody, you're trying to give somebody, you're trying to give back to them, you're trying to just make their day better, you're trying to make their life better. And that's how you obtain that fulfillment, that love that you seek, or you were seeking when you were completely materialistic. You find it here, you find it by giving. Because that way you start building relationship, you start building love, you start building trust, and with that sort of connection, we become unified as one. There's no longer some silly competition going on. It's always people are trying to help you. Everybody's trying to help you because you're trying to help everybody. Because you're putting your best foot forward. You're giving love at each and every single situation possible, and you're trying to make the world a better place. You're not going out there saying, I'm going to fix the world. No, you're focusing on what is around you. You're focusing on your family, on your immediate friends, on the people that force themselves into your life in some way or another. Maybe it's a coffee, you buy coffee. Maybe you go to a grocery store. Maybe it's some stranger that just happens to walk into your existence. Be nice, be loving. Try to give back as much as possible, but also never be used. Never allow parasites to enter your life, because parasites need to learn the lessons that they can't parasitize off of good human beings, loving human beings, because they will do that. They will try to do that. You must be kind but strong. You must love but never be used. You must give as much as you can, but always leave some for yourself. Always make sure that you are number one. Make sure that you are being fed, that you are being clothed, that everything that you need in your life to be full and complete, that you have that first. Just like in an airplane. If there's turbulence, masks go down, put the mask on yourself first, then help other people. Because if you don't put on a mask on yourself, how are you going to help others? If you're dying and trying to save other people's lives, you're not going to be helped to anybody, because now you're dead and you can't help anybody. Take care of yourself, and then give extra to others. Give love to this. Give love to that. Just give after you give to yourself. And that's why just loving people is amazing, because everybody plays a role. Everybody either gives, or they're putting you into a situation to understand that without negativity, without a lesson, you wouldn't be the person that you are today. You wouldn't be the happy, you wouldn't be the giving person that you are today, because you needed to experience some negativity. You needed to either be that person or experience that person in order to get rid of it, in order to go above it, in order to surpass it and actually feel the light and give back. So all the negative, all the darkness, it has to be met with light. Without darkness, there is no light. Without light, there's no darkness. There needs to be a yin and yang. That's why whenever you interact with people, just love them, just talk to them. Don't judge them. It doesn't matter what their past has gotten them, but maybe because they were in jail, or maybe they killed somebody on accident or on purpose, who knows? Maybe that is what took them to now save thousands or millions of lives that you don't know nothing about. Or maybe because that person killed somebody, now somebody else has dedicated their life so nobody else get killed, and they try to be as passionate and loving as possible, and they try to save other people. You have no idea how the universe interacts, how the butterfly effect affects everything that happens around us. Even the smallest minutiae that we do in this world because a huge change for us all. That's why be aware and be conscious of everything that you do. And then if you put your best foot forward, if you're given love, then you know that you're putting a good wave, a good vibration out into the universe to multiply 100-fold and to do good upon anybody and everybody that it lands on. So go out there and give love. Just love everybody. And then people will surprise you. They're incredible and enticing and fantastic. And with that, my almighty listeners, my almighty friends, my almighty lovers, whatever you are, I bid you adieu.